Last week, the U.S. Marshal Service arrested a registered sex offender wanted on a number of charges in both Webster and Lee counties.
About 2 weeks ago, the Webster County-Sheriffs-Department says it issued a warrant for Sammy Crumble's arrest for failing to register his address. Stephen Pimpo was in Webster County today to find out how they monitor sex offenders.
Keeping tabs on registered sex offenders living in their jurisdiction is something the Webster County Sheriff's Department takes very seriously.
When Sheriff Gore took office, he pulled me in his office and he told me he wanted us to completely go over the sex offender, all of ours here, to find out who they were, where they were, make sure they were all current.
We do keep contact with them as required by law from time to time to make sure they're where they're supposed to be, where they say they are.
That watchfulness led them to issue a warrant for the arrest of 45-year-old Sammy Crumble 2 weeks ago.
We began looking for him, checking the registration or where he had registered as an address, and when we didn't locate him, we started making phone calls to family members.
Crumble was first convicted of 2 counts of second-degree sexual abuse in Oregon. The Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act requires sex offenders register their current whereabouts 4 times a year and immediately notify law enforcement in person if that is changing.
Wherever that you say your residence is, your domicile, that's where you have to live, and you've got 7 days to notify the county that you're either in or going to.
In October 2021, the Lee County Sheriff's Department received a report of someone sexually assaulting a minor. During its investigation, the department says it learned of reports that Crumble committed multiple sexual offenses on a minor and issued a warrant for his arrest.
This individual is exactly what SORNA was created for. You live on the West Coast and you decide to move to the complete opposite part of the country to try to get away from your past.
The Lee County Sheriff's Department learned Crumble was possibly making plans to flee the country and worked with the U.S. Marshal Service to arrest him.
Finding out where they were, who was registered, who was current, who wasn't. That's how a lot of these names have come up. He's just the latest.
In Yapora, Stephen Pimpo, WCBI News.
The Webster County Sheriff credits Deputy Jail Administrator Denise Mays for overseeing the sex offender database. Crumble is currently in the Lee County Jail on a $250,000 bond and could face other charges as the investigation continues.